in today's women's final. We will see Robin Fulton and Diane Tucker meeting Aery and Gerri Viant. Today's APTA National Championship is brought to you in part by Price Waterhouse Securities. And hello everyone, and welcome to the Montclair Golf Club. I'm Paul Spahala on a beautiful day for platform tennis. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with the sport of platform tennis or paddle, you're in for quite an enjoyable evening of watching television today, because it's an exciting sport. It's a very fast-paced sport. It's a sport that demands a lot of the player in terms of their finesse and their creativity out on the court. And certainly someone who would know that is one-time national champion Shirley Babington. Shirley, thank you very much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about that, the fact that power isn't so much a part of the game as is finesse.
Well, the wires will really neutralize the power so that you have to work the play around and get the players out of position so then your power can take over.
Shirley, let's talk about our #1 seeded team, Fulton and Tucker. Do they come in with a little pressure for being the #1 seed?
I don't think so, because the other team has also won this title. I think they're definitely the team to beat because of Robin's versatility, and Diane has probably the best concentration in the game.
Yeah, combined we have the last 5 national championship teams out on the court today, so obviously we're going to see a high level of play.
Absolutely.
Working also with us today is Patty Hogan. Patty, thanks for being with us today. This is a sport where, as we have talked a little bit about before, finesse and creativity are very important. Which of our two teams may have a little bit of an advantage in those areas?
Well, the team of Viant and Aery, particularly Gerri Viant, is a very steady type of player. She'll work chip shots, lobbing to set up Sue. Sue's more of the power player, and so that's what they rely on for their effectiveness.
You had a chance to play them in the semifinals today. They eliminated your team. What did they do well this morning that you think may carry through to this afternoon?
I thought they played very steady, and paddle's a sport where whoever makes the most errors loses. And they made very few errors compared to our team.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about that as the day goes on, but we are almost set for the first of our best 2 out of 3 sets. It's the Women's Championship of the 1995 APTA Nationals. We'll be right back.
Tiny. Rolex. Performance. Rolex. Precision. Rolex. Strength. Rolex. The choice of champions. Rolex.
I'm Jack Otchalk. The show is Legally Speaking, and we talk about law and lawyers and how that affects us all in modern society. My guest tonight is Mr. Gerald Scala. He's a practicing attorney, and we're going to talk about landlord and tenant.
Find out everything you need to know about your rights as a landlord or a tenant on Legally Speaking, only on TV3.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Montclair Golf Club, and we are almost set for the Women's Championship. Fulton and Tucker will be serving to Aery. So a beautiful day here for the APTA Nationals. Robin Fulton will be serving. first point gives a great indication that long points are the order of the day, as opposed to tennis, where points are sometimes won very quickly.
Exactly. And because the weather's fairly warm today, you'll see points that are very long.
Love.
And Fulton Tucker, what makes them such a strong team is Diane Tucker has the best drive of anybody in the game.
And that serve was called wide, so it's 30-15.
You can see where patience plays a big part in this game.
I've seen a number of players do that today. Is it just maybe a factor of the wind blowing the serve around? A few players have thrown up a serve and then had it just come back down on them.
Right. The courts are temporary structures that are right off the golf course here at Montclair, so there is a little bit of a wind gust coming up.
40-30 our score.
I think wind is the most difficult element to play.
And Fulton and Tucker win game one.
Basically, I think what you can see already, strategy-wise, is that Fulton and Tucker will have a lot of patience, as will Aery and Viant. It's going to be a waiting game.
I think you'll see more power coming out of the side of Fulton and Tucker, however. When they get their opening, they seem to go for it.
And when Fulton and Tucker are on, they're the best.
No question. I think Diane's return of serve and basic forehand is the best out of that forehand side in the game.
Actually, Fulton and Tucker, as individuals, have won this championship a lot also. They had been with other teammates before they combined about 6 years ago.
Right.
They are the odd year winners.
Right.
Aery and Viant have won it in the even years.
Robin has won this tournament 5 times with 4 different partners.
You'll notice that Aery and Viant are using the Australian just because of Diane's formidable return of serve.
Great play at the net, and that's another element of paddle that we will see all day.
What Robin Fulton will do repeatedly is she will do what's called a blitz on Diane's return of serve. And she has the quickest hands of any woman in the game, and she comes up with a tremendous amount of points that way. It's kind of a cat and mouse game right now. Everybody's just kind of feeling their way out. The basic strategy is to back the team up with a good lob to try to open up the court for a drive.
And they're an attempted drive, but it goes into the nets.
I think that's one of her favorite shots. Seen her make it a number of times.
Yes, she makes more than she misses. that point, Fulton Tucker switched places with each other several times, and they will do that to try to get Robin, who's a taller player, possibly in a position to hit her tremendous overhead into the corner.
And there, the hard shot by Robin Fulton that forces the error. And Fulton and Tucker now lead 2-love.
They're a wonderful combination, too. They complement each other.
It's a great shot. And that's Gerri Viant's strength. She has a great chip return serve. You have to volley up to Sue, and that's the tremendous play for them.
All. That would be fair to say that the team at the net controls the point.
Yes. So the team in the backcourt will try to manipulate them with the lob and different dinks and different types of shots till they get the opening they're looking for.
Fulton and Tucker varying the pace of their overheads. They'll hit a lot of softballs and then hit one ball much harder. Tremendous amount of patience. Fulton Tucker not really giving Aery and Viant too many openings.
That one just in the court. We're playing a lot of shots off the screens at this point.
Right. And you'll see that all day because it's pretty warm out.
It's also the reason you don't want to hit your overhead too hard because it will come out too far and give the backcourt team an advantage.
40-15.
Uncharacteristic error. Gerri Viant is usually very steady. She misses very few balls.
Great volley.
And Fulton and Tucker jump out to a 3-love lead in the first set. Fulton and Tucker are the #1 seed in the bracket here in the 1995 APTA Nationals. They defeated Ellis and Philippone, 6-2, 6-love, Allen and Chapin, 6-2, 6-2, Cash and Newsom, 6-4, lost the set 4-6, then won 6-1, and then this morning defeated Delaney and Mangan 6-2, 4-6, 6-1. Aery will serve, and that will complete the rotation. We'll have seen everyone serve at the end of this game. Sue really under a little pressure here to get her team back in the game. They trail 3-love. Of course, the other key factor for those new to paddle, which we just saw, only one serve.
Fulton came in what's called a blitz there. Diane hit a nice high lob. Robin kind of jumped in just to surprise the other team and made the other team overhit the ball slightly. hard shot.
Wind seems to be picking up, makes it very tricky.
Sue, was the wind bad this morning? Patty, I'm sorry.
Kind of kicked in at different spurts, but it made lobbing fairly difficult, and because you do only get one serve, it made it a little tough for serving. The toss was blowing around.
Oh, what a
Great
volley.
Great play by Sue
Great
Aery.
volley.
And we are at 30 all. Beautiful get on the backhand stretch.
Beautiful volley. That's
Great
unusual.
comeback.
An error off of Diane's racket is very unusual.
We're at deuce.
I think one of the things that's important that we're seeing out here is this level of play. They don't go for it unless they really have the perfect ball to go for it. And I think that's a good lesson for players who are less experienced. They tend to go for winners too much, but you can see they're really picking and choosing here when they go for it.
There, the great lob is giving now Fulton and Tucker a chance to move up to the net.
Looks like she forced that shot a little bit.
Advantage, Fulton and Tucker. And it was long. So Fulton and Tucker jump out to a 4-0 lead. Patty, I guess that's a bit of a surprise in that here in the final they've gone out to the 4-0 lead.
Well, typically when these teams play, and when Robin and Diane play anybody, they always get off to a very good start. And then other teams find themselves kind of clawing to get back in the match. But they are a tough team when they're ahead.
When you're down 0-4 like that, you have to try to be calm and not rush your shots so you can claw your way back in.
It is love 30. 15 all, excuse me. No, love 30. I was right the first one.
Every paddle match has tremendous swings of momentum. And you just kind of, when it's not going your way, you have to have a little bit of patience and hope that it will swing, because it usually does change. It didn't for us in the semifinals, but for most people.
Now that's a tough shot, almost an impossible shot to return. Hit off the back screen and then just hook the side screen. Shirley, is there anything you can do at that point?
Very little. Patty probably could get it with her quickness. You just have to slide out the wire and hope that you can catch up to it. Very difficult.
It's a shot that Robin Fulton hits more than anybody. She is one of the taller players, and she just hits it overhead and aims right for the nook and gets it an incredible amount of the time.
Sue Aery with a great winner down the middle. It's 30-40, Fulton serving.
It was a big break for Aery and Viant to get back in this first set.
So a 1-4, they will switch sides, and Aery and Viant will have the serve. One thing that we should mention, Aery and Viant, the number 2 seed in this tournament, and this is how they reached the championship today. We defeated Cooper Smith and Sell 6-love, 6-1. Same score over Harvey and Tully. 6-1, 6-4. Our win over Duff and Pierpont. And Patty, you don't have to look if you don't want to.
Okay.
6-4, 6-2 over yourself and your playing mate.
Cindy Prendergast. I think this game you'll see Fulton Tucker really try to attack Gerri Viant's serve.
Great get by Gerri Viant.
Robin Fulton has tremendous agility on the court. She's hampered a little bit with an ankle injury. She suffered a couple weeks ago playing squash. So that could be a factor here in her movement a little bit.
And it will be out. Patty, did either Viant or Aery, did either one of them give you more difficulty with their serve?
I think we didn't necessarily return serve very well. It wasn't that their serves. And a lot of times the serve is not a tremendous factor in paddle
Right.
because you only get one. You still have to put the return in the court no matter who hits it.
30-love. Again, Gerri Viant is serving. Gerri originally from Australia.
She's a tennis and paddle pro up at Nyack Field Club in Nyack, New York. We have a little bit of a momentum swing here toward Aery and Viant.
40-love. And a chance to win the second game in a row.
There's an example of the power off both sides from Fulton and Tucker.
And all Sue can really do on Robin's return is just try to get the ball back in play, and that sets up Diane Tucker's great drive. There it is again.
She is so consistent with that shot.
I think Diane and Aery, to be a little bit more effective, have to do that. They have to chip. They should mix up a few more chips in with the lobs, and that will open up the court for them. And that sets up Sue's real nice drive. That was a great volley there. But I think if they throw 10 lobs, that doesn't hurt Fulton and Tucker.
They can cheat a little bit at the net. They don't have to play it.
Tried to bury one in the corner there.
Yep, there's a nook, and Sue covered for Gerri nicely. All four of these players play at such a high level that they're making this look very easy.
Oh,
Oops.
A little miscommunication there. That doesn't often happen with the #1 team.
No. That was a great lob out of Gerri Viant's corner. That's what she does very well. She'll lob a ball and make the other team make a choice who has to hit it instead of, you know, a ball that's obviously to one or the other person.
Diane Tucker will be serving, but now she'll be serving 4-2. At one point it was 4-love.
And she tends to have the highest toss of anybody. This win could affect her
Yes.
a lot here.
a little bit of lack of patience there on that shot.
It's almost surprising when the points go quickly, 2 or 3 shots.
It's a great relief to the serving team. It's by Viant. There it is again. Diane hit a nice lob, set up her drive.
30-15. Aery swung all the way out, trying to make sure she turns it with her forehand. Foot fault was called. So it's 30
I
all.
wonder if the wind is going to play a part in that with the blowing the toss.
Just not going to make it back. 40-30, a chance for Tucker and Fulton to go up 5-2.
Very nice, aggressive play.
Aery makes it deuce.
Beautiful return. Oh dear.
Foot fault called, so advantage. Aery.
Ooh,
And a double fault. So just when it appeared at 40-30 that Tucker and Fulton might go up 5-2, Shirley, we are now 4-3, and Aery and Viant are right back in this match.
Absolutely. It just goes to show you that the momentum can swing so quickly. One foot fault, careless volleying error, and you let the other team right back in the match. And their confidence level rises. Sue played a very nice game.
Watching the 1995 APTA Nationals from the Montclair Golf Club. I'm Paul Spahala, Shirley Babington, Patty Hogan are with me. You are watching the women's final, and as soon as the women are done, you will watch the men's championship here.
Aery and Viant set up once again in the Australian formation.
Now, if you could take a quick moment and explain that for our viewers who may not be familiar with that term.
Instead of Gerri Viant lining up to the far left side of the court, she's in the middle of the court to try to make Diane Tucker hit sort of a different kind of drive. Just make her move it around a little bit. And that was a good first volley.
Do a lot of teams do that, Patty, against Diane these days?
Right. Or now they're in their standard formation, serving to Robin.
15 all. Let's see if they again do that. Yes, they are.
Yep.
Gerri Viant straddling the center line.
That's tough. That's a good drive right at the body. And in this warm weather, it's hard to keep those balls in play. Platform tennis is really a cold weather sport. I just happen to get a warm stretch here. Nice get out of the nook for Gerri Viant there. Fulton talking about just keep hitting a lot of balls to Gerri Viant, then smash one to Sue, not let her get too many shots. She's very explosive when she gets 2 or 3 shots in a row.
Oh, head bounce. Great save.
Great get. That was a great get by Sue.
She's probably one of the most athletic girls playing paddle today. Very quick. Makes wonderful gets.
15-40. Are you aiming for that corner, or do you vary it? Or you're almost always aiming for the corner so it'll die in that corner?
That's what you try to do, and it's much more of a factor in the cold weather because the ball bounces very low. The colder it is, the less the ball bounces.
Fulton and Tucker win the game, and they have a 5-3 advantage. And Robin Fulton will be serving for the third time here in the first set.
I think the wind must be playing a factor. There are a lot of faults going on, Patty. That
Some nerves to go with those faults.
yes.
Beautiful play by Aery.
Once again, that was set up by Gerri's chip return to serve and suplex. Anytime you're on the defensive, just throw up another lob. There it is again. That was a great get by Sue.
What great reaction by Sue.
Yep. Now we'll start going to Gerri again. Great shot.
You can see at this level how hard it is to put the ball away.
Sue is really playing the whole court almost, so the shots to her are just keeping her honest, keeping her in
Right.
her quarter of the court.
And she's cheating towards the middle so that she can take some of the balls, because Fulton's their strategy is to play most balls to Gerri and then every once in a while keep Sue honest.
15-30. Fulton serving for the set. Lead 5-3.
That was a great return.
Great
Sue.
return.
But it's 15-40.
Robin looks like her mobility is just a little bit hampered by that bad ankle. Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
That one just hit that back screen and died.
She has lovely touch.
She got about 4 feet closer to the net on that ball than the ball that she missed. And that's the key. She's got to get on top of the net and keep that ball.
They battled back to deuce. Robin Fulton again serving with a 5-3 lead for her and Diane Tucker here in the women's final of the 95 APTA Nationals. Advantage Fulton.
Robin was lucky that ball didn't go over because she was nowhere near ready to play the next ball.
Set point. And it's long. Game and the first set to Fulton and Tucker, 6-3. We're going to take a short break right now. We'll come back to tell you a little bit more about the 95 APTA Nationals when we return to the Montclair Golf Club.
There's millions of people out there who manage their own money. At Waterhouse, I think we are particularly proud that our commission rates are among the lowest of any nationwide discount broker. You take a trade of 200 shares at $25. Schwab will charge you $89. Fidelity charges $88.50. and Quick and Riley charges $60.50. Our commission is $35. That's a big difference.
See how much Waterhouse can save you. Call this number now for this free brochure.
Price may bring a lot of customers in the door of Waterhouse Securities, but what keeps them here is service. We can execute a market order within 3 to 6 seconds. We provide a free Standard & Poor's stock guide. We offer 500 to 600 no-load mutual funds. We're a member of the New York Stock Exchange. We have over 60 offices around the country. We give them the price, we bring them in the door, and then we give them outstanding service.
Call this number for a free brochure comparing rates and services and start saving money now.
Welcome back to the Montclair Golf Club on a beautiful day for the APTA Nationals. Again, I'm Paul Spahala, Shirley Babington, Patty Hogan are with me for the women's final. And at this point, Fulton and Tucker have won set 1, 6-3. Gerri Viant will be serving here in game 1 and set 2. We thank our hosts here at the Montclair Golf Club for what I understand was a great 4 days of paddle.
Very nice aggressive play by Diane.
That was a great get by Fulton. One of the things about the wires is you always get a second chance, and you have more time than you think, and it's important never to give up on a shot. Very few wires are missed by this level of play, where an intermediate level or low beginner, you'll see a tremendous amount of errors off the wires. But the wires also enable all different levels to play this game and enjoy it just as much as a high level.
Beautiful shot by Robin Fulton. Patty, when players first start, especially if they're accustomed to tennis, do they tend to give up on winners?
Right.
Because they're not ready for that bounce back.
Right, a ball will be driven by them, or someone will smash an overhead, and they'll forget that they can play the ball off the back screen. It's a bouncy surface. The court is an aluminum deck that is very coarse. It's kind of got a rough surface, and it's very fast in a way, but because of the wires, it slows down to where you can play the shots.
Long on the service. So the game to Fulton and Tucker.
They also will change balls after every set because the surface will tend to make the ball that gets very chewed up and loses its color.
Patty, we should mention, while we have a moment here, that in addition to just having a great time here at the Nationals, it is also for a very good cause that this event took place here in New Jersey this year.
Right. One of our charities for the tournament is the Children's Specialized Hospital in Mountainside, New Jersey. And we're happy to have them associated with the tournament this year.
Of course, Children's Specialized, one of the longtime recipients of the telethon that we are proud to do every June, the Children's Miracle Network telethon. So the children are the recipients of all the fun that the players had these past few days.
So the service break, Fulton Tucker just had to start the second set. Really I think it's going to make it tough for Aery and Viant. They're going to have to come up with some winners here to cause some damage in the second set, I think. Fulton Tucker played tremendously well when they're ahead. Kind of relieved some of their pressure they felt earlier, I think.
Wonderful get.
Great get. There it is.
There it is again.
Robin shot.
Deadly shot that just does not want to come off the screen.
There's an example. The point was won by Aery and Viant, but Robin just stayed in there and got it. Great drive again by Tucker.
It's where the wires will neutralize a beautiful winning shot.
And in the cold weather, there's no way that ball would have been gettable. Definitely sat up. And there, that ball was good, and I think the wind kept it in. Barbara Pitty-Kelly.
She's doing a good job of keeping the action moving.
Okay, Barbara is an umpire for lots of tennis events in the Philadelphia area and does a great job helping out all the women's tournaments.
Philadelphia, one of the other hotbeds of platform, I guess, along with Chicago. Anywhere else, Shirley?
I think those three, you know, the East, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, and I don't know, Patty, are there any other areas?
Detroit has a lot more players now. There's different cities where, like Kalamazoo, you have a lot of platform tennis players. And the key is, in some of these more remote spots from us, is that they have some pros that can promote the game and get a couple good players, and then that raises the level of everybody else in the area. That's an advantage our region has right here in New Jersey. There's a tremendous amount of good players because you get to play with good players, and that raises your level. The thing about platform tennis as opposed to tennis is platform, there's a tremendous amount of camaraderie. When I started playing, people would play with me and I'd start picking up things, and even opponents kind of help each other out. It's not cutthroat as much as maybe tennis was. Good blitz again by Sue Aery. And a nice thing about platform tennis is they always have good parties. And no matter if you win or lose, everybody has a great time that night.
Aery Viant with the win, and that makes it 1-all. It was interesting when they asked Diane Tucker how she and Fulton happened to get together as teammates. She said, I got tired of losing to her, so I thought I'd ask her to be my teammate.
They've been partners now for 6 years. And Aery and Viant played together for 5 years.
15-love. Gerri Viant serving. No, I'm sorry, Sue Aery serving. Mentioned, it is a cold weather sport, such so that the courts that we have here, the Riley courts, have gas heaters under them, so that if needed, they would melt ice or snow.
Right. And Green Mountain actually built these two courts. Some of the others are Riley courts, I believe.
I believe these two courts here are temporary, are they not,
Right,
Patty?
these are temporary, for sale for any club. You might want to add 2 more courts. So the court is a portable court as opposed to a tennis court.
And a great shot by Gerri Viant. 40-love.
2 uncharacteristic volleying errors there by Robin in this one game.
And a little momentum swing. One of the things you'll see out here is very good sportsmanship for the most part. If you make an error, you just kind of don't worry about it. You continue on. Rob made an error on the prior shot and came back and hit a great return serve. Again.
There it is.
Diane Tucker with a powerful shot. Aery reached it, but couldn't return it.
Diane struggled a little unorthodox compared to the other 3 players, but she is so tough.
Her concentration, though, when you say, is probably the best in the game. And the more pressure you put on her, the better she gets.
Advantage to Aery.
Real high lob. The wind has kind of died down, so I think we'll see a little better lobbing now. It's great volley. Again, the ball, because of the warm weather, that ball came out. It was a very playable shot, so he hit a great drive that would have been probably a winner in the cold weather.
And again, an uncharacteristic error. And we're back to deuce.
And that point was a perfect example where she hit a nice, hard winning shot, which was picked off the screen and turned out to be a winning point for Fulton and Tucker.
Deuce 1-1 in game, the second set.
That's great volley by Diane.
Great block by Gerri Viant. Just dropped it right into the court and it died right there.
That was another blitz by Robin. Didn't work out that one time.
So game to Aery and Viant, and for the first time today, they have a lead, 2-1. Now watch the strategy on this replay as the team on the back line will then take advantage of some shots and move up to the net.
This is where Sue hit the ball through, and Diane Tucker ran back to take it off the back screen. We won't talk about the next overhead. Oh no, she made, that was the one
That was
she made.
And all of a
the one
sudden,
we won't discuss.
the positioning completely changed now.
Right. Oh, that was the overhead. She
There it
chose to
was.
forget.
Oh, gee.
The only weakness Diane Tucker really has is that she does tend to balk from time to time. And I think today's a tough day because of the wind and her high toss. That's a great job by Sue again.
Great movement.
One of the basic strategies that you'll see, and I always tell people when you're in the brown, you lob, and when you're in the green, you look for your drive.
So much for the hope that the wind had died.
I know.
It really picked up a lot in this
Yep.
last 2 minutes.
We had a calm 2 minutes there.
Wonderful hands by Robin there.
It was a great play. Aery came in, just missed the last shot. Good blitz again.
30 all. Here's a quick look at it.
And again, the blitz is set up because Gerri Viant hit a very good lob. Robin made a nice low volley. One of the keys to play the wires as well as these players do is that their feet never stop. They just always keep moving. Here's Sue again. And that's
Very smart.
That's Gerri Viant at her best. She can lob you and chip you and open up the court.
Great use of the court by Gerri Viant. Crossed up Diane Tucker just a little bit.
She had moved to cover for her partner.
Nice get.
The wind makes it much more difficult to judge your out balls also.
Diane has that little bit of a hitch in her serve that just, if you're receiving it, I guess throws you off just slightly. Advantage Aery.
Fulton Tucker switch here again to get Robin on the left side of the court to cover the majority of the overheads.
Just wide. We get a good view of that one from our broadcast position.
Fitness is definitely going to play a part here. The longer the match goes on, I would favor the team of Viant and Aery. And Robin is a little bit hobbled by that ankle injury, so we'll see if that becomes a factor.
Advantage Aery. This is the fifth match that each team is playing here in the tournament, and the second today.
Oh, dear.
There's a footfall for the game point.
She's had about 5 now called on her.
Gerri Viant will be serving with a 3-1 advantage here in set 2.
There it is.
I think she made up for that footfall. She felt a little bad about it, so she drilled
right.
that return.
I think we can look for her to be very, very tough in this game.
Aery and Viant are set up. Sue is crouched down pretty fairly low in the Australian positioning. And Diane's drive goes over the net and dips immediately. And it's such a difficult ball even to volley, let alone to keep away from Robin Fulton as she blitzes through. You're very close to each other, and a lot of times it has to be fairly clear cut who's going to take which ball so you don't hit each other.
And it's a very, very quick game. The ball comes back at you so quickly. You have to have it clear cut.
point goes on longer and longer, it favors Aery and Viant.
And
Bingo.
psychically, you got that one. 30-40.
Well, Robin and Dina hit their overheads with a lot more pace than any of the other women who play, and you just really have to be patient and wait for an opening, and that's exactly what they did on that point.
Deuce.
There it is again. She seems to be able to put it anywhere in the court that she wants. Down the line, cross court.
Advantage Fulton.
That was a great volley.
Wonderful volley.
One of the things you'll see out of Viant and Aery more so than with Fulton and Tucker is that they will volley most of the balls primarily with their backhand. And basically, when a team's driving so close to you, you have to commit one way or the other how you're going to volley. Where that's one of their strengths. You'll see Robin and Diane get caught every once in a while with a ball right at their body because they haven't made a decision whether they're going to volley with a forehand or a backhand.
Advantage Viant.
That's a great deep volley.
And they take game 5 for a 4-1 advantage.
Fought off 2 break points in that game, I believe.
Yeah, they were down 30-40, and after the first deuce, advantage Fulton. So
That was
they
a
did fight
huge
off
hold.
the 2 points.
And that volley of Gerri's off of that winner of Diane's was critical. Beautiful.
And that had so much backspin on it that even when it landed, there was no way that Diane was going to be able to catch it because it almost backed itself up into the net. You're watching the 1995 APTA Nationals. APTA is based here in New Jersey in Upper Montclair. Charlie Stevens is the president. We thank Charlie for his hospitality, getting the finals here.
We should also thank Gina Ohlmuller, who is the executive director of the American Platform Tennis Association. She's done a tremendous amount of work for this event.
Sue is moving exceptionally well today.
The more Sue moves, the better she plays. So again, Sue's cheating to the middle of the court. They'll just keep hitting Gerri. Sue will take her chances.
And Sue took a chance there
Right.
and got the points. 15-30. So
Gerri setting her up nicely, forcing the opponents to volley up.
That's good play. I think you'll see a little bit more of Fulton Tucker hitting behind Sue because she is cheating a lot to the middle of the court.
tries to come to the net, but hit it long. It's 30.
That was uncharacteristic of Robin.
Right. I think she had to hit. That's where I think she has to start going into Sue's corner a little bit and keep her honest. Sue kind of forced Robin to make that error there by her positioning.
putting pressure on Fulton.
Advantage Aery. A chance for a 5-1 lead, but her return right to the net, so we're back to deuce.
Looked like she rushed that a little bit.
Yeah, she'd probably like that one over.
They're going to switch. You heard that.
Great shot, great hands. I think Gerri Viant is playing the best I've seen her play in a long time. She's always steady, but she's really forcing some openings from Fulton.
She's creating the openings with those lobs.
She's creating
and dinks.
pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this hits.
Rare error.
A rare
Advantage
one.
Fulton.
A rare error today for her.
And she has been playing very well today. Advantage Fulton, chance to get back in the second set.
Ooh.
They get the big leg break
Like
on
that.
the double hit off the tape.
I think Diane blew it over. She just kissed the ball. That was a great serve, nice and deep.
Good game.
Game Fulton and Tucker, so it's now 2-4. Now 4 serving 2. Sue Aery serving. But boy, we may come back and hit that shot off the tape if things turn around here in the second set. Long way to go yet at 4-2.
There it is. One of the strategies we try to do sometimes is, if Diane's returning so well, is we'll both stay back on the baseline and not give her a target, because she's tremendous with a target. And almost give up the net on purpose, but at least you're in the point.
15 all.
Great hands.
30-15. Patty, how many tournaments did you play in this year?
I believe there were 6 national ranking tournaments before this national tournament.
Right.
Started the year out in Chicago and ended up here. That was a great overhead. The ball, Sue hit the ball with a little bit of slice, and the ball hit the wires and stayed low.
40-15. We should mention that Patty is affiliated with the Summit Tennis Club.
We might also mention that Patty and her partner won the national mixed doubles title a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you, Shirley.
You're welcome, Patty.
Makes my semifinal loss a little bit better.
40-30.
We beat Robin Fulton and Richie Mayer in the finals in a tough 3-setter. And Aery and Viant are trying to avoid Diane's forehand. You can see they're playing a lot of balls, try to pin Robin in her corner, and only go over to Diane's forehand when they really have to. Hit a lot of soft balls down the middle, make her hit some backhands.
That's a lovely shot.
Right, Diane started cheating over as the point went on, and then they had the opening.
So Aery and Viant win the game. And they lead the second set 5-2. Now, Shirley, when you won your championship back in '74 with Marty Cavanaugh, where was that held?
That was in New Canaan, Connecticut. You did have to mention the date, didn't you?
Let's get back to the replay and watch Gerri Viant with the winner. Watch it from up top on our reverse angle.
They opened that court up beautifully.
good news is if it's going 3 sets, it's 60 degrees and not 20.
Players don't seem to mind. All the players in short sleeve.
Right.
Aery and Viant, the shorts. A little more courageous than I would be.
They like their legs. I might as well show them off. Right, Sue let the ball go right through her legs, let Gerri take it off the wires. In tennis, you would have to try to play that.
Volley. The ball's gone back and forth about 45 times already.
Probably the longest point of the match.
Tremendous amount of patience until they get the right opening. They don't force the play.
That was a wonderful point.
And a great finish to the points. Diane Tucker with a great placement. Gerri Viant went for it, but just couldn't come up with it.
Another foot fault.
It's the toss. The wind is directly behind her.
Blowing her tops right to the court. She's stepping in and then foot faulting. Nice return.
15-40. It's a double set point. And we are going to a third set. So Aery and Viant win the second set 6-2. After having lost the first set 6-3. Players taking a break right here. That's what we will do. We'll be back with set 3 right after this short pause.
Looks like you're getting ready to go car shopping. At Warnock, we'd like to open your eyes to a brand new way to shop for a car. It's called the Car Buyer's Review. with 36 fact-filled pages on over 100 models. For your free copy of the Car Buyer's Review, just call 1-800-WARNOCK. Because when you shop at Warnock, battle gear is not required. Warnock, there really is a difference.
And we are almost ready to start set 3 here at the Montclair Golf Club, the Women's Championships. Aery and Viant will have the first serve here in set 3, and Gerri Viant will have that serve. So fitting that we've gone to the third set here in the championship. Aery and Viant, the defending champions. Again, they won it in 90, 92, and 94. Fulton and Tucker won in 91 and 93 as a team.
That's the first time that Robin has really hit her return in about the last 3 or 4 service return games she's had.
Right. Aery and Viant are thrilled that they're in a third set, and Fulton and Tucker are not, so I'll start smacking it, I think. Nice scat.
30 all. Well, I guess you always feel that way. The team that wins the first set is always disappointed that there's a third set. The team that extends the match is always ecstatic.
But you come to expect it in platform tennis because there's so many momentum swings. It's rare that you'll play a high-level match where it doesn't go 3 sets.
Reinforce that one a little bit.
40-30. And Aery.
This becomes a very important game for Robin Fulton. I believe she'll serve first to hold. If they get behind 2-love, I think you'll see Aery and Viant taking some more chances, forcing the action a little bit more.
There's our overhead camera. As a matter of fact, we're going to watch this whole point from that view, so it'll be a reverse angle somewhat, but it'll give you a view of inside the court.
You can see the wind there taking a little toss, making it a little difficult. Again, the longer the point goes on, this match definitely goes toward Aery and Viant. Favors them tremendously, I think.
hit out by Viant. So Aery trying to stretch out a little bit. It's a long point. Aery spent much of that point on the right-hand side of the court. 30 love.
That was a great shot by Gerri Viant. She kept the ball real low. She knew Robin was going to move, cut across the net, and she kept it too low for her.
30-15, Robin Fulton serving into the net cord. 30 all. Last year, Aery and Viant needed 3 sets to beat Jones and Prendergast. 4-6, 7-5, 7-5. Aery and Viant now lead 2-0.
A little bit of uncharacteristic play there by Fulton and Tucker.
Yeah, I think that was a nervous volley.
Mm-hmm.
Quick discussion between Fulton and Tucker between points.
They need something now. They need to stop the momentum that Sue and Gerri now have. You see Diane Tucker sneaking way over the middle. She's trying to set up her forehand drive, and Aery and Viant are not giving her too many chances. Because of that. They think they can sneak one in every once in a while, and she comes out with a winner.
Aery and Viant have won 11 of the last 15 games since they trailed 4-love in the first set. Eventually lost the first set 6-3. But again, they've won 11 of 15 games. She'd like that one back.
Happened a few times today.
It could be where the wind dropped the ball a little more rapidly
Right.
than she was prepared for.
Cord winner.
So Fulton and Tucker win the game, and they will be serving down 1-2.
It was an important game for them to break back and give Aery and Viant that 3-love lead, and they'd be tough to stop.
And now Diane serving. She wishes someone else were right now. But
Yeah, again, she's had trouble, and so if anything, Aery and Viant are happy that it is Tucker who is serving, and if there's any pressure on any one of the 4 players right now, it would be on Diane Tucker.
Yeah, I think those foot faults of hers have given them at least 1 to 2 points every time she served.
that was a great serve.
Shirley,
Suzanne.
that even goes further into pointing out what you said about that last game being so crucial to Fulton and Tucker.
They seem a little confused right now, Patty.
But they get the point.
But I think that's with the wind.
Wind.
Shot. It's kind of moving the ball. It's starts out as Diane's ball, and then it moves over to Robin's.
Well hit, but not quite.
One of the things you'll see Robin Fulton do a lot when Diane serves. Diane doesn't particularly serve the ball too hard. You'll see Robin moving at the net to try to cut off a lot of balls and distract the other team. It's a great lob.
Oh, those are wonderful
Great hands.
That was wonderful hands on all parts.
Great appreciation from the fans
Yes.
here at Montclair. 30-15.
Diane is a little relieved. So let her off the hook there. She's got to put that return in play because Diane's put such pressure on her serve. There it is again.
Yep.
Great play.
Great play.
Set up again by Jerry's chip returner serve. Sue moved in.
40-30.
Good pressure from Aery and Viant there. Let cord winner.
Nice lobbing to get them kind of mixed up at the net also.
Notice all four players moving their feet constantly.
Fulton and Tucker switch. Advantage Tucker.
And what happens, that type of error happens when you don't use the wire. Diane hit it deep enough overhead that Jerry probably would have had an easier shot taking the ball off the wire.
Called a fault.
Service was long.
There it is again. Great low return of serve. Sue blitzing through.
Advantage Aery. After her great winner.
Nice
And
shot.
game to Aery and Viant.
I think you can see the importance of teamwork out here. It's not one player who does it. Both players have to work with each other and complement each other to win the points. Great
Sue
play
is
by
just
Sue.
moving exceptionally well. You can feel her confidence growing
Right.
every point.
Still think they have to hit some balls back in her corner to
Yep.
pin her back in there, just like
Yep.
they're pinning Robin
Yep.
Fulton in her corner.
Robin Fulton just drilled it right at Sue Aery. Could not be returned. 15 all.
Great hands.
And Sue Aery somewhat returned it. Returned the favor there. Hit it right at the legs of Robin Fulton. 30-15.
There it is again. Great drive.
I'd like to see her use that a little bit more, Patty.
tee all. This has been a power game. Some finesse that we've seen all day.
Great get by Gerri. Well, I think you'll see shorter and shorter serving as we get near the end. Gets a little bit, everybody gets a little tighter, a little more pressure. And so you should really look to tee off on some of the serves. Here comes Sue. Great play again.
You saw her, but I don't think either Fulton or Tucker saw her. She just kept coming quickly and quietly and cut right across the middle of the court. 40-30 and a chance to go up 4-1.
Sue better be ready. I don't think Robin's going to lob this ball.
You were right.
Game Aery Viant 4-1. We'd also, of course, like to thank Larry Chapin and Chapin Associates, who were really the ones who initially contacted me about the idea of televising the '95 Nationals. It's turned out to be a great event for us to cover, and Larry promised good weather. He could have given us about another 10 degrees worth of heat, but other than that, we really can't complain. Actually, more uncomfortable for the fans, for the spectators. I guess it's fairly comfortable for the players, although they could do without the wind also.
Right. And Larry Chapin is the tournament chairman for this event. He's done a tremendous amount of work. He's done a great job.
And the Benefit Children's Specialized Hospital in Mountainside, so all for a very good cause. And we might be down to the final 2 games. Gerri Viant with a great shot. Fulton had a little trouble returning it. It's love 15.
See Aery and Viant switch there. They got caught on the wrong, each got caught in their opposite corner, so they lobbed the ball and got back to their own corner. That was great play.
Moving so beautifully today.
Love 30. Fulton and Tucker trying to figure out a way to contain Sue Aery.
I think that's what they need to do. I think they need to get her back in her corner, and then Sue has great footwork, and I think you need to try to get her flat-footed if you can. Pin her in her corner a little bit. That's another tough chip by Gerri Viant, and Sue's coming in, so it makes Robin's volley even more difficult.
Love 40. Triple break point.
A huge point.
5-1. Sue Aery will be serving for the national championship.
I hear the fat lady warming up.
You can't underestimate the good job Gerri's doing it, setting Sue up.
She's probably made about 5 unforced errors and a tremendous amount of setups for Sue.
That's what they spoke about after their semifinal match. Gerri said, I set him up, and
Right.
Sue knocks him down.
Good teamwork. And that's a good return to serve. That was a little bit of a shorter serve by Sue.
Very effective return. Very hard to read.
Love 30. Love 40. goes to Fulton and Tucker. So it's 5-2. Diane Tucker will have the serve as we move on to game 8.
Fulton and Tucker are still in it. They still have a chance. They've each won many national titles. Robin's won 9 national titles. Diane's won a couple women's titles. She's won the mixed doubles 2 out of the last 3 years, so they're competitors. They'll battle. She just wishes someone else was serving right now.
There we go.
That was a good volley by Diane. She kept that ball low.
Very nice. Didn't give Sue a chance to really come down on it.
All. This is the 61st annual APTA Championships. Started way back in 1935.
That was a toss. It was way in front of her. I think she was worried about her feet.
15-30.
That's a great return by Sue.
15-40. So it is now double match point.
The fat lady's getting closer. Great pickups. Oops. Great pickups. So I felt
wonderful
stay at that point.
But it is still match point at break point. 30-40.
Right toward great volley. Great hands by Diane Tucker there.
Wonderful.
Diane did not want to give up on that one.
Diane's never given up on a point in her entire life.
Deuce.
Little indecision. Looked like Robin was going to poach and help her out. And then all of a sudden pulled up.
Advantage Aery. Championship point.
Great. That's it. Great play.
Great play.
Sue Aery and Gerri Viant are the national champions.
They played a great match.
Wonderful match.
They win 3-6, 6-2, 6-2.
I think you can count Gerri Viant's mistakes on one hand.
They had great teamwork, and I think that was really the difference here today.
Here's another look at match points. Here comes Sue Aery.
Robin Fulton volleyed the ball too short, gave Sue too many openings.
And there it is. 3-6, 6-2, 6-2. Aery and Viant win the national title. And we'll be back to wrap up our coverage of the Women's Championship in just a moment. Coming up in just a few moments, the Men's 1995 APTA National Final. We'll be right back.
Looks like you're getting ready to go car shopping. At Warnock, we'd like to open your eyes to a brand new way to shop for a car. It's called the Car Buyer's Review, with 36 fact-filled pages on over 100 models. For your free copy of the Car Buyer's Review, just call 1-800-WARNOCK. Because when you shop at Warnock, battle gear is not required. Warnock, there really is a difference.
Down on the court, let's welcome the president of the APTA, Charlie Stevens, with the presentations. Charlie?
Thank you, Paul. Ladies, I know this is not the greatest day for you. You've had gold before, but it's a pleasure for me as president of the APTA to present you with the APTA silver medals as finalists in this year's national championships. Bob? Congratulations, Diane. Robert, nice playing. It was a well-played final, no question about it.
And if we could bring on our champions now.
And this year's champions, on behalf of the APTA, it gives me great pleasure to present both you ladies with the gold medal, symbolic of the national championship for 1995.
Thank you.
Jerry?
Thank you.
Sue?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Great
you.
match.
Great
Terrific
match.
match.
Thank you.
Sue, I would have to say about the only trouble you had on this court today was getting the medal on. Congratulations on a great performance. Jerry, you told us before the match you like to set him up and Sue knocks him down. Was that the strategy that worked today?
Yeah, that was Sue. We went rock and roll. I set it up and Sue came in and put it away. It was great.
On your service, you were using a formation. Were you trying to keep it away from Diane a lot?
Yeah, we try and shut down her drive as much as we can, because if we let it go through, it's pretty dangerous.
Most of the time, you were on Jerry's half of the court. You were always looking to poach over, cheat over a little bit. Was that another strategy that you employed today?
Yeah. Yeah, we're just trying to, you know, keep them off balance as much as we could. And it seemed to work today.
And Jerry, your thoughts on winning the title once again?
I'm so psyched. 2 years in a row. That's what we wanted to do. It's great.
Well, we have more booty for the winners, so at this point, I'd like to bring in Nancy Mangan, who is the chair lady of this year's national championship, for the presentation to the winners.
All right, Nancy, if you could step on in.
First, I'd like to award the National Championship Bowl to Sue Aery and Gerri Viant. Congratulations, ladies.
Nancy? Thank you,
Well
Nancy.
done.
Thank you.
Here's the bowl. They get to retain it for another year. And we would also like to award to you both the top prize and hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, ladies, for a match well played.
Sue Aery and Gerri Viant, there they are, the 1995 national champions. We'll be right back with the men's championship right after this.
Looks like you're car shopping. Running all over town. Trying to see as many cars as you can. Looking for the right car at the right price. Well, now there's a brand new way to shop for a car from Warnock. It's called the Car Buyer's Review, with 36 fact-filled pages of over 100 models. For your free copy, just call 1-800-WARNOCK. With over 100 car models to choose from, we'll never give you the runaround. Warnock. There really is a difference.
Welcome back to the Montclair Golf Club, everyone, and with a final presentation for all of our players in the final. Once again, Charlie Stevens.
Thank you, Paul. And at this time, I would like to introduce Arnie Dietrich, the president of the Lineal Group, which has been the sponsor of the Grand Prix events for this year. Arnie has a special presentation to both the finalists and winners of this year's national championships. Arnie?
Thank you. Thank you. We are very pleased at Lineal Group to be associated with the APTA and the game of platform tennis, and I have here 4 checks for the finalists and winners. Robin?
Thanks, Arnie.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Thank you, Arnie.
And Jerry and, if I can get them separated, Jerry
Thank
and
you.
Sue.
Thank you, Arnie.
Thank you all. It was a great match. Great match.
Thanks.
And once again, a good hand for all the finalists, and we'll be back with the men's championship right after this short break.
Looks like you're car shopping. Running all over town. Trying to see as many cars as you can. Looking for the right car at the right price. Well, now there's a brand new way to shop for a car from Warnock. It's called the Car Buyer's Review, with 36 fact-filled pages of over 100 models. For your free copy, just call 1-800-WARNOCK. With over 100 car models to choose from, we'll never give you the runaround. Warnock. There really is a difference.
And welcome back to the 1995 APTA Nationals, as we will now have the men's championship, as Peter Grunberg and Art Williams will meet David Ohlmuller and Bruce Kelsey. And a reminder that the 95 APTA Nationals are brought to you in part by Waterhouse Securities. And welcome back to the Montclair Golf Club, everyone. I'm Paul Spahal. We had an outstanding and a very exciting women's championship that went 3 sets, and hopefully we'll have the same here for the men today. I'd like to introduce our commentators who will be working with me on the men's broadcast. First of all, to my right, David Fair. David, good match that the women put out for us. Do you think the men maybe got any idea from the women's match as to what they might expect today in terms of especially the wind, which seemed to play a little bit of a factor in the women's match?
I think you're going to find that today the matches are going to be a little bit tougher because of the wind and also because of the weather. This is a warm weather day here. It's very tough to put the ball away. You're going to see a lot of shots go off the back wire, a lot of screen play. And I think the biggest thing you're going to look for is a lot of heavy balls being hit by Kelsey and Ohlmuller especially.
Well, tell us a little bit about our local team, Kelsey and Ohlmuller.
Well, they're the local favorites. David Ohlmuller is a member here at Montclair. I think you're going to find that Bruce Kelsey especially going to be hitting some nice lobs, some deep lobs, trying to get David set up. David, we call him the human forehand because he can hit that forehand from any position on the court, any balance. He's one of the most talented players of the game, and I think you're going to see a lot of fast work from him all over. Set up by Bruce, though.
All right, David, thank you very much. Also working with us today is Scott Estes. And Scott, let's talk a little bit about their opponents today, Williams and Grunberg, and they have the advantage, certainly, of coming in as the defending national champs.
That's right, Paul. Artie and Peter have been ranked #1 in the nation for the last 2 years, and probably are the the toughest opponents that Bruce and David would have to face. They've met each other several times before. It's been balanced as far as victories. I look today that Artie and Peter will really come out hitting the ball. David mentioned that Ohlmuller-Kelsey will really fire, but I think that Peter and Artie will both be coming at them with heavy balls, and I think it's going to be a very exciting match today.
Williams and Grunberg, what sort of strengths do they have? How do they complement each other as a team?
#1, they played together for a long time. They move well together. Artie Williams has a terrific return to serve. Peter Grunberg is a great volleyer. Artie is also a very good volleyer. They have quick hands at the net, and they place their overheads very well to try to be on the put their opponents on the defensive. So I think it should be a good matchup.
And that sets the stage for our men's championship. Williams and Grunberg, the defending champions, and Kelsey and Ohlmuller are the local favorites. So we'll see who comes out on top when set #1 gets started in just a moment.
like you're getting ready to go car shopping. At Warnock, we'd like to open your eyes to a brand new way to shop for a car. It's called the Car Buyer's Review, with 36 fact-filled pages on over 100 models. For your free copy of the Car Buyer's Review, just call 1-800-WARNOCK. Because when you shop at Warnock, battle gear is not required. Warnock. There really is a difference.
And we are back for the men's championship. Bruce Kelsey to serve.
Peter came out swinging on the first return, went right after it. Unfortunately, didn't make it.
Art Williams to receive now.
Great return down the line.
Watch for Ohlmuller to flip soon.
Artie and Peter trying to hit overheads that'll keep Bruce and David back at the back wires so they can't make an offensive shot. So they have to place their balls carefully. It's a good volley. David and Bruce be looking for chances to swing away with a bad overhead. Good lobbing is key right now. And for the overheading, they're trying to press them into the side wires and deep into the back wire. David mentioned before, it's a warm day and it's tough to put the ball away, so these points can go on.
I was just going to say, it's going to look like a long afternoon here. You can see the wind holding the ball up on the lob.
There's a net cord for the point.
That's what you're going to see a lot of also in this game. There's many lead cords. They can turn the match on a second.
Again, Bruce Kelsey serving.
Peter hitting another good return right there.
You can see how Bruce let that ball go and it went flipping off the back wire. He went for the drive, but it was too far out of position.
30-15.
Artie with a terrific forehand return.
We'll be looking for a lot of those also today.
That's right. The opportunities there, these guys are going to swing on those returns, and it's going to be a tough volley.
It's going to be bombs away here.
Just missed wide. Just missed it wide.
40-30. Bruce Kelsey serving for the first game. First game, first set. See Artie Williams well off the court, hoping to play this one with his forehand.
Well hit. Taken over the net. Bruce is not in his normal position.
Got him in the
They'll look
side.
to switch sides. They were able to switch back, get David back in the ad court side. They'll be patient. They're not going to force it until the opportunity's there.
If you watch Ohlmuller, you might see him look almost disinterested, but he springs to life. And then settles into a rhythm.
Got a very easy style, but all of a sudden it comes at you hard. Here it is. Good volley to get that one back.
Game of patience amongst the four players.
Absolutely.
That's right. It's a very defensive game and then a very offensive game.
It turns on a second, though. They can be relaxed and patient in the back, but if the opportunity arises, you're going to see them spring out of the corner back there. Artie and Peter are taking over the net nicely, though.
A good get by David, really digging one out of the backhand corner. Okay. good lob. David looking to hit it. Yep. Peter cut that off. There's the drop
There's the
shot.
drop shot
by Artie. Terrific.
He's going to go to that drop shot down Bruce's side also. Bruce is not as quick as David.
Beautiful touch.
He's great hands. Back to deuce. Bruce said let's serve, but that ball missed the service lines. It's a fault. There's a break point opportunity for Artie. He'll be looking to swing on this one. He makes it, and Bruce went for a little too much.
So
that's the first break, but this can be a game of breaks.
Right, you're going to see a lot of breaks today, especially with the warm weather.
So Grunberg and Williams win game 1 of set 1. Gentlemen, while we have a moment here, how long have you guys been involved with paddle, Scott?
I've been probably playing for 15 years now. David and I have teamed up for the past 5. We've enjoyed a good partnership.
Like more than 5, Paul, actually.
Tough to carry me a long time. I have to pick some good partners.
What's it like, David, to play on a day like today where it's very windy and, well, according to you, warm?
Well, it is warm, actually. We play sometimes in 20, 15-degree weather, and the ball reacts much differently. Like this, our style was such that Scott drives the ball, and I like to come in and poach. And I think you'll see a little bit of that today. And it's so tough to put the ball away. That's what the problem is. These points are going to be going on and on. They're going to get the right opportunities, but as you can see, the balls come flying off the screen, and it's almost a detriment. You'll see, actually, I think the guys will be letting them go instead of trying to volley them. It's much easier to play it off the screen.
Art Williams got to serve here real quick. What sort of strengths does he have as a server?
Well, he basically just keeps that ball in play and looks to make the first volley. He doesn't try to overpower anyone on the serve. Both Bruce and David will be looking to hit their returns.
And we're underway.
Good serve. He got it to Bruce's backhand. David looking for a little offense.
One of the rare two-handed backhand misses that we're going to see today.
It's the other thing, that two-handed backhand has changed the game a bit, and there's offense on either side from a lot of the players today.
That forehand.
Great returning. Kelsey and Omiller taking over the net. Already looked for the opportunity. A little tentative on that swing. He netted it. Looks like the sun is not a problem when they're hitting these overheads. I thought it might be a little more troublesome. David likes to throw up a real high lob.
15-30. If anything, the sun would be a bother to the players in the far court. Now, both are wearing caps at this point.
Another
great return by David. He's
a few uncharacteristic errors from Artie, though. There, volley errors, got a good volley. A couple of forehand misses. Might be a little tight.
Looking for a break point here.
15-40.
You're going to see that serve down the middle a lot to Bruce. Keeps away from the forehand.
He lets David hit it. Comes all the way over, but just a little tentative on that shot, too. Yeah,
for David to swing out here.
Yeah.
Still break point.
Yeah. Forced Artie to try to hit a serve that was just a little too tough, and he faulted. So we said, no, 2 service games and 2 breaks of serve.
Games are 1-all, and for the first time today, we will see David Omoller serve.
Kelsey is one of the best volleyers in tight at the net. It's a real help to David on his serving. Good play. They were much ready for that drive, and Bruce tried to make that volley just a little wide. Great hands by David Ohlmuller.
Looks like Artie's battling the sun in that corner back there.
Yeah,
Seems to lose one. What you're going to see here is a lot of communication by both teams on every point and every ball almost.
See who's going to hit the overheads, who's going to pick the ball up out of the wires. You have to know what's going to happen.
Nice flip, fooled him.
Great shot.
Bruce was looking down the middle. Peter was able to flip it back cross court.
A lot of these overheads will be tried to be placed right into the corner. It comes out on an unusual angle. A great return
Big
by
drive.
Artie.
And game
3 and game 3 break.
As you can see, serving is no picnic here today. We're going to see who's it. We're going to give a prize to the first one that holds today, I think.
I think so.
And that was a love game that they broke service, and here's a look at that last serve.
See, David hits it.
It's a little short.
A little short in the box.
Little short.
And he's got to pay for it. This one didn't come out quite as far, and he couldn't go back and get it. David is very good at diving back towards the back wire and scooping him out of there. You'll think the point's over, and it comes back, sometimes offensively.
Yeah, a lot of the strategy will be to not try to volley balls that are hit too heavily, because if you let them go, they're going to be coming way back off the wire and actually give you an offensive edge to return them from a point somewhere in the court. To get your hand on a volley and in close is very difficult, very quick.
Now, a quick clothing note here. Williams and Gruenberg now
down
are
the
back
shorts.
to the sun. No, they've dropped the hats.
Dropped the hats.
And
They're
it'll
also
be
very.
interesting if they Kelsey, who wasn't wearing, has now put it on.
Yeah,
David will wear his backwards the whole time. Yeah, he's the best dressed out there, I think.
Bruce with a spike overhead. Good get
though
by Peter, but they're looking to take over that net again.
You're noticing here the serving team sometimes, who is supposed to take over the net, is ending up in the backcourt because of the drives, and they're reversing it. It's a little bit different when it's about 20 degrees out.
It's a very quick follow to the net for the serve.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't get in, you're hanging one off your shoe tops, and with these guys, they make you pay.
They were patient. They let the ball come through and knew they could dig it back off the wires, and they'll be patient to be back here at the back wire, and Artie will look for an offensive chance.
One thing you're not going to see from many of these teams is pinning. They're all patient. They know how to play. They know what to do. They've played a number of times also.
Bruce will come off the wire.
Almost a great save by Gruenberg.
Great try. You got to watch out for Bruce off the wire there.
Yeah. Say all these players are dangerous, letting the ball go through, getting it off the wires, and coming back with a good offensive shot. You just have to expect the point is not over once you've passed something.